Here's a question that was left on the forums recently. Hello everyone, sort of a brand new rider here. Long story short, I took the BRC course back in January of 2019, but didn't have a bike for a while. So I guess it's true, if you don't practice, you definitely lose it. Also, I had never been on a bike as the rider before this in my life. I retook the BRC course a few months back, and it was like night and day compared to the first time. This time around, I had a bike waiting for me at home. The issue I'm experiencing is that I'm having issues riding faster than 30 miles per hour. I'm still working on getting my shifting and counter steering skills down. Any advice? So one of the things that I love about the forums at MCrider is, aside from myself, so many other riders and riding coaches have reached out with advice for this rider. Many riders remember experiencing the same thing, but all of them offer great advice for this rider, just trying to get some things figured out before he heads out on the street. And you just never know. Sometimes you ask a question on the MCrider forums and you get a video response back to your question. So this week, let's look at our sense of speed, and we'll attempt to answer this question that our viewer left on the forums. Hey, my name's Kevin, and I release a weekly video here on MCrider focused on road skills or road strategy to help you become a better rider, become a member of MCrider, and get access to even more tools to help you stay sharp and develop your skills on two wheels. Check out the new member options at mcrider.com/member. I just revamped that whole website, and there are a lot more options and free stuff for members of MCrider. You can get ad-free videos, decals, shirts, and hats with the MCrider membership. So look at this photo that Don just sent me of his HJC I-90 helmet sporting his MCrider decal. These are reflective decals, so they add an extra pop of light to your helmet at night, and they look good on your helmet during the daytime too. Go to mcrider.com/member, get one of these decals for your motorcycle helmet. One of the hurdles that many riders need to get over is that sense of speed, or we'll refer to it as SOS. You see it all the time here in the new rider class where the top speed is 20 to 25 miles per hour. Even at that speed, many riders struggle with rolling on the throttle or keeping the speed up. Many of these riders pass the training class, but when they graduate to the roadway with traffic at speeds that are much greater than 25 miles per hour, they struggle to ride at road speeds. So what causes this sense of speed, or SOS, and what can new riders do to overcome it? Well, first let me say this: SOS is not just an issue that new riders face, especially if you've ever taken a track day where speeds can get into the triple digits. If you're not used to those speeds, some of those same SOS features start creeping back into the way you ride. Some of those fears will come back up when your speeds are faster than what you're used to. The tips I share here will also help with the SOS on the track as well. So why is a heightened SOS a problem to begin with? Well, everyone reacts to SOS differently. Some people have no problem with it, others struggle with it, and when SOS causes fear, we have that sensation that our sensory information is coming at us faster than we can deal with it. Rider may be riding down the road, approaching a turn at an intersection. Things start running through his mind. Is there a car waiting at the intersection? Is the light green or red? Do I have the right of way? Am I in the proper gear? Should I downshift before this corner? Do I need to brake? Is that car still behind me on the road that I saw a little while ago? These are all things that run through the mind of a new rider, and if they're riding at speeds faster than they have in the past, it causes our SOS to go through the roof. The result might be that our rider then slows down even more on the road, but that causes other problems because they're riding at a much slower speed than the flow of traffic around them. So that creates a hazard as well. We've all driven or ridden in cars at speeds much greater than 25 miles per hour, so why does it seem so fast when we ride a motorcycle at road speed? Well, there are three main reasons, and the first two of them are your field of view and the wind. So when you're on a motorcycle, there's this sense that you're riding a magic carpet. That entire view is open to you. There's no dashboard in front of you. There's no roof over your head, no doors to block the view from the side, and no windshield with bug splatter on it that you're looking through. It is you and the wide open road and that view of the road ahead of you and even to the side of you. That's one of the reasons why I love to ride so much. I can't tell you how many times I've been somewhere in a car and I thought, man, this would be a really cool road if I was just on my motorcycle. It's just different on a motorcycle. It's wide open and it's something that you can never get in a car or truck. So while that view makes the road that much more open, it also adds a degree of uncertainty to a new rider. You have the realization that there really is nothing between you and the road, and that makes just about any speed on a motorcycle feel faster because of that fear. The other new experience that beginning riders are feeling for the first time is the amount of wind that they're subjected to. So you can feel the wind on your clothes, going up your pant legs, rattling your helmet, but having a well-fitted helmet will help with that a whole lot. But it's a new sensation for a rider and one that they don't necessarily get in an MSF class. In an MSF class, 25 miles per hour is about the top speed they ever reach. And there's really not that much wind at 25 miles per hour. And things are pretty smooth as far as wind is concerned. But you put that same rider on a motorcycle on a highway at 65 miles per hour, and they feel like they're in a wind tunnel. Add a little gusty headwind to that, and the feeling's even more real. And depending on the motorcycle that you're riding and the windshield that you've got, it feels like it wants to push you off the back of the motorcycle. But trust me, that sensitivity of the wind goes away after a time, and it's something that you'll learn to appreciate. So my advice is to don't fight the wind. Stay relaxed with your grip on the handlebars. Keep your arms from locking out, and the motorcycle will adjust to the wind with very little input from you required, with maybe the exception if you're getting a side gust, you may want to counter steer a little bit to help lean the motorcycle into the wind. But if you're getting wind buffeting from a windshield that is not correct for you, or wind coming up from the sides of the motorcycle, or there are a few other causes of buffeting, that's a little bit different story, but it's also one that can be fixed. Go to mcrider.com/wind, and I have a video to help you diagnose and fix wind buffeting issues for you on your motorcycle. So I'm going to show you two videos, and I want you to tell me which one was shot with me riding at a higher speed. Okay, so here's video 1, and here's video 2. So which of these two videos that I just showed you was I going faster in? Well, the answer is, as you might have figured out, is neither. They were both shot at the same speed. The reason why the first video seemed so much faster was because of the perspective of the camera. As soon as we looked further up the road in video 2, things seemed to slow down a lot. I had more time to make decisions because things were not coming at me so fast. My SOS was decreased simply by looking further up the road. This not only works on the street, but it works on the track as well. On the track, you want to look even further up the road to reduce your SOS out on the track. So many riders have a really bad habit of not looking far enough up the road. This increases your SOS, especially in a new rider, gives you fewer options to deal with hazard and less time to deal with those hazards when they appear. So my advice to new riders dealing with the heightened SOS: first, practice on a parking lot, spend some time with the field guide, and practice those core skills of riding until they're second nature. That slow look, press, and roll technique should be ingrained on a parking lot, not on the street while you're in traffic. And while you're practicing, reinforcing that you're keeping your head and eyes up, that you're looking across the parking lot. I've taught enough experienced riders to know that many of you are not doing this. Look up. Look further down the road or across the parking lot in practice. If you develop that habit in practice, it will carry over to the street. Then, when you get out on the street, your SOS is decreased, the core skills are second nature, and your road strategy then comes into play to help further reduce your risk out on the street. Hopefully this helps. We'll be discussing this video on the forums. Become a member at mcrider.com/member and join in on the conversation. You'll get the forums and the field guide and maybe even one of these cool reflective decals from my friends over at stickercutting.com. They really do look good on your helmet or your motorcycle, and they'll add a little pop of light when you're riding at night. So till next week, guys, it's Kevin with MCrider, and I'll see you on the road.